In a crowded high school hallway, filled with the noise of lockers slamming and students rushing to class, a boy named Armin walked silently, his head down. He wasn't popular. He wasn't noticed. In fact, most days, he felt invisible. The weight of life at home, the struggle to fit in, and the constant bullying had worn him down. That morning, he had made a difficult decision: he was going to give up. Not just on school. On everything. But something happened. As he walked past the science lab, a girl named Aisha caught his eye. She was just an ordinary classmate, someone he'd never spoken to. But in that moment, she did something extraordinary. She smiled. Not a fake smile. A genuine, warm, welcoming smile, the kind that says, "I see you. You matter." Armin kept walking, but something shifted. That one small gesture, it stayed with him. That night, instead of ending everything, he wrote in his journal, "Maybe someone does care." The next day, Aisha smiled again. This time, she said hi. Then the day after, she sat with him during lunch. Slowly, through her kindness, Armin began to feel something he hadn't felt in a long time: hope. We often think kindness requires grand gestures. But the truth is, it starts small. A smile. A word of encouragement. A hand reaching out in someone's darkest hour. And the impact? It's immeasurable. Aisha had no idea what Armin was going through. She had no idea that her simple smile saved a life. But that's the thing about kindness. It doesn't need an audience. It doesn't ask for recognition. It just gives. Another story comes from a city bus. A man in his 60s stepped onto a bus, carrying an old grocery bag and a worn-out jacket. People shifted uncomfortably, avoiding eye contact. But one young man stood up, offered his seat, and smiled. He asked the older man if he needed help. The older man said softly, "Thank you. I just lost my wife yesterday. I didn't know how I was going to make it through the day." They talked the entire ride. That stranger's kindness didn't erase the pain, but it reminded the grieving man that the world hadn't forgotten him. That moment of connection gave him the strength to keep going. Kindness is more than an act. It's a language that everyone understands, even when words fail. It bridges gaps between people. It melts the hardest hearts. It uplifts those on the edge. When we encourage others, we plant seeds. We never know when they'll bloom. A child who hears "I believe in you" might become a leader because someone once saw their potential. A friend going through depression who receives a heartfelt message might choose to stay another day because someone reminded them they're not alone. You don't need to be rich to be kind. You don't need a platform, or followers, or a perfect life. You just need to care. Sometimes, kindness looks like listening without interrupting. Sometimes it's paying for someone's coffee. Sometimes it's just being present. In a world that's often loud with criticism, choose to be a voice of encouragement. Choose to build others up when the world tries to tear them down. We've all had moments when we needed kindness. And most of us remember the people who gave it to us: the teacher who believed in us, the stranger who helped us when we were lost, the friend who stayed on the phone until we stopped crying. So why not be that person for someone else? Let's make kindness louder than hate. Let's be known for lifting others, not judging them. Let's celebrate every act of compassion, no matter how small. Because kindness is not weakness. It's strength. It takes courage to be kind in an unkind world. But it's always worth it. And remember, just because you don't see the results, doesn't mean your kindness didn't matter. Like ripples in water, it goes farther than we ever imagine. Today, you have the power to change someone's world. Not with money. Not with fame. But with your heart. So be kind. Encourage someone. Tell them you see them, you value them, you believe in them. Because sometimes, all it takes is one kind soul to remind someone that life is still beautiful. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, share it. Be the reason someone smiles today. The world needs more kindness, and it starts with us.